Summer Game Fest is back, and so am I for my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th year in a row making this mandatory E3 video. I've outlived E3 at this point. Yeah, I've been doing this video every single year that I've been on YouTube, and it's kind of a tradition at this point. It's generally speaking just a sort of hype check on the event, what partners are going to be at the show, what games I'm looking forward to seeing, what games that you should be looking forward to seeing, just sort of general predictions. Now, if you want to get into like the Dreamtime stuff, the dream scenario, you could check out another video down in the description below where I talked about like Final Fantasy IX Remake and Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff. But I have a feeling there might be some bleed over from that video here because those things are actually looking a little more likely. We'll get to that for sure. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about video games. So Summer Game Fest is really soon, and it doesn't really feel like it, to be honest with you. Now, Keighley is promising that this is going to be, or it very much is, the biggest Summer Game Fest ever with over 60 plus partners, which is kind of insane, right? This show just keeps escalating. I feel like it's gotten better and better throughout the years, just as the Game Awards have gotten better and better throughout the years. But I do want to focus a little bit on those partners, right? We have the sheet here. We have all of these names that are all pretty exciting. I first want to focus in on Capcom, dude. Capcom, let's be honest, has been kind of on fire lately. Now that Monster Hunter Wilds is very much in the wild and Street Fighter 6 just finished off their Season 2, I do think that we could get trailers for those. I do think that Monster Hunter Wilds is probably going to have a trailer here, probably some new monster coming. I don't think it's time for that big expansion yet, but there's going to be a little Monster Hunter something at this show. And I do think a year 3 for Street Fighter 6 could very well show up here as well. I believe Terry was there last year, and that was super exciting. I do hope we get like some crazy guest character. That could be a lot of fun. However, there have been some rumblings. There has been this stench of Resident Evil 9. Now, I don't want to give fans any kind of false hope, but I've been following Dusk Golem just like everyone else. My ears are on the tracks, right? There's something going on at Capcom. This game has been in development for a very long time. I believe the longest ever for a Resident Evil game, which is crazy considering the pedigree of the previous Resident Evil games. But I do feel like it's been quite a while, right? There was that good little chunk of time where we got Resident Evil 7, RE2 remake, RE3 remake, RE8, and then RE4. Like, there was a lot of Resident Evil for a good chunk of time, and it's been kind of quiet lately. It does feel like it's about time for some RE9. Now, I don't think it's coming out this year. I think it's like spring next year, right? But I do think we get a little trailer. And usually Capcom trailers, like, they're showing gameplay, dude. We're seeing gameplay of RE9 at Summer Game Fest? Is that what I'm saying right now? Look, Resident Evil 8 was one of my favorite games of that year. Like I said, the studio is on fire. Capcom is just a different, like, oh my goodness, Onimusha. Like, that could be another thing that shows up here. Way of the Sword. Like, Onimusha to me looks fantastic. We've gotten a lot more of that game than I thought we would have at this point in time. And I do think an Onimusha trailer could show up here as well. I'm ready to like see more of this game. Give me more Onimusha, man. That game looks fantastic. There's also Pragmata, and I did have to pause before recording this to even remember the name of that because that game just doesn't even feel real to me. It has been 3 or 4 years since we've heard anything about that game. Maybe my timetable's wrong there, but it's been a long time. And again, I don't know if that game is real. It would be a huge surprise, right? Getting a big Pragmata trailer with gameplay finally. Like, finally we actually know what the game is. It's possible, right? Again, Capcom is just infinite possibilities. There could be a new IP. They could just show off a brand new game. They could show off a brand new fighting game. There's also been some rumblings of Marvel 4. Now I'm getting the Maximilian dude, foil cap on. I don't want to go too crazy here, but again, Capcom's always very exciting. You put them on anything that shows like, here's our partners and Capcom's there, the show just immediately becomes more exciting. So I do think Capcom is one of the bigger partners at Summer Game Fest. We got to talk about IO Interactive, right? The fact that IO is even here, it's James Bond time. It is finally time to see this video game. Now, they teased it a little bit at the Switch 2 event, of all places. That game is going to be on the Switch 2, which is cool. It's not Hitman, right? We're not getting any more Hitman 3 stuff. Like, maybe they'll... No, wait. Hitman's done. It is time to finally see James Bond. I don't really have much else to add to it, right? I don't really know what. Look, IO Interactive, Hitman 3, or just Hitman: The World of Assassination or whatever, is just one of the best games ever made. Like I can quantifiably say that at this point. I have spent over 100 hours in that game at this point. It is so much fucking fun to play. And the fact that that studio is making a James Bond game, making a 007 game, I should say, excites me greatly. I'm ready for the gadgets, man. I'm ready to be a spy, and I'm ready for IO to be in charge of that. And I've been dying to see this game for quite a long time, and I think Summer Game Fest is definitely the place where it's going to be. I think this is just lock it in. If I had the Keeley meter in this video, it's not a part of this video, that's 5. Come on now. It's definitely 5 on the Keeley meter. Now, I know a lot of fans are extremely excited about this next partner I'm talking about, but I might have to burst some people's bubbles here. I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. What's that doing here? Now, I know Keeley's been trying to get Nintendo a part of, everyone wants Nintendo a part of their show, right? Everyone wants Nintendo. At the Game Awards, you know Keeley's emailing Nintendo of America. You know there's been conversations there. You know that stuff is happening. But the Switch 2 comes out the day before this show. Like, what's really going to be there is a commercial for the Switch 2. Like, I really do think it's just going to be commercials, right? It's going to be commercial breaks. They're going to show games that are also for the Nintendo Switch 2. Like I was just talking about, IO Interactive's 007 game. That's coming to Switch 2. Street Fighter 6 is now on the Switch 2. I think there's going to be Switch 2 games here, and things that might be a little surprising to be on Switch 2, like RE9. You might see a Switch 2 logo at the end of that trailer. But I don't think there's going to be any big Nintendo announcements because it's Switch 2 on the partner board and not Nintendo. Look, all I'm saying is if Nintendo's logo was here, I would be singing a completely different tune. I would be thinking, oh my god, we're getting a new Bonanza trailer. We're getting a new Kirby trailer. We're going to see Smash Bros, a new Splatoon. You know, I would be in that realm. I would be going that crazy. But now when I start thinking about it, DK does come out July 17th. Maybe we get a trailer here? There's no big Nintendo Direct proper in June, right? It's just the Pokemon Direct, and that's all fine and dandy, but DK ain't showing up to that. So when do we see DK again? Does the game just come out? Is it fully... the game's already sold. I don't really need another trailer, but I very well could see a trailer here. I don't want to be fully pessimistic. Like, that, I think that is in the realm of possibilities, sure. But again, I still think it's just going to be Switch 2 commercials that happen to have some new footage of DK in it. That would be my guess. Pearl Abyss. These are the devs behind my beloved DokeV. And they're also the devs behind Crimson Desert, which just recently had like a big blowout trailer. And there's been previews going around. And I don't know, now I'm starting to think that they're saving room for DokeV at Summer Game Fest. I do think that having this logo here bumps up the Keeley meter. I truly do believe that. Again, this game is not coming out for a long time, but it doesn't mean a new trailer isn't. I mean, a man can dream, right? A man can hope. I really want to see more of this game. PlayStation usually has something up their sleeve at Summer Game Fest. I believe last year they showed off Lego Horizon, and the year before that they showed off The Last of Us Part 1. I don't know. This is usually where they just have like, here's a little game that we got going on. But again, PlayStation has been kind of, honestly, really quiet lately. We haven't had a state of play in a little. We had a Borderlands state of play, but I don't know. We got the Ghost of Yotei trailer. That's kind of it. PlayStation's been absent. Like, I don't even fully understand what's coming out this year for PlayStation. I think we could very well see Saros, right? I believe Housemarque said we are going to see more of that game this year. But aside from that, I think they saved the rest for a state of play. I do think there is a state of play coming. Jeff Grubb was saying that, yeah, there is something PlayStation related happening in June. I think you save Saros for that, and I think you save Ghost of Yotei for that as well. So maybe it's just something smaller, a little surprise similar to Lego Horizon. Next up, we have to talk about Sega, man. Now, I mentioned this in my previous video. Please watch that video, by the way. It's a really good one. I put a lot of work into it, after you finish this one, of course. I mentioned in that video about Sega's Power Surge, about Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi. Like, those games are coming, and it's time to see more of them. It's time to see Jet Set Radio. And again, I talked about it prior. I won't go into too much detail here. I just think this is a 5 out of 5 on the Keeley meter still. I think that this is absolutely happening. It's time to see it. It's time to see mainly Jet Set Radio, man. I don't know, like I really want to see what that game is. I want to see how you make a Jet Set Radio today. I do think that Jet Set Radio is a very dated video game, and the music and the art style certainly aren't. I think that is incredible stuff, but like the actual gameplay of Jet Set Radio is like kind of not fun to play anymore, if I'm being real. So I do want to see that stuff updated, and Crazy Taxi as well, and maybe Golden Axe doesn't look like steaming poo. Maybe they worked on that game and it doesn't look like poo anymore. That's also a possibility. Right below Sega, let's go down. Yacht Club Games, baby. Mina the Hollower. Yeah, I'm excited to see more of that game. There's not much to add. It's just that game's going to be here. We're probably going to get a release date finally, and that's going to be one of the best games this year, man. Mina the Hollower, mark my words, will be at the Game Awards. Like, it's just going to be an incredible video game, and I'm dying to play it, and I can't wait to see more. So yeah, that's just 2 thumbs up. Good get, Keeley. Good job. Now, before I continue to one of the last partners I want to talk about, I do want to mention that, like, these partners as a whole, they're partners, right? They're helping pay for this show. Like, that's kind of the whole point here, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they have games to show off. It just means that, hey, they're helping pay for the show, and they might by happenstance have some games that they do want to show off, and it's kind of a win-win for Keeley. It's a win-win for these studios. Like, that's how this thing works. But there are some indies here as well, and there will be some surprises. Like, just because they're not a partner doesn't mean they're not going to be a part of this show. And again, this is just round 1. There's going to be other partners there, and there's things that they haven't revealed yet. One studio I do want to focus on is Soft Rains. This is a brand new studio. A lot of talented people on board the studio. We've never seen a game from them. We've just seen concept art. It's like a first-person adventure sci-fi thing. That's going to be really exciting. There's a couple of other games that I'm like, really? Remember that weird like Gooby Prison Escape game we saw last year? Where's that? That could be there. Team Cherry is not listed as a partner, but I mean, is it finally time? Could it happen? Xbox also has a show later that weekend, so like that could obviously show up there. Hollow Knight could obviously show up there, but I mean, I don't know, man. Is it time? Right? There's still going to be surprises at this show is what I'm trying to say. Like, nothing is confirmed. All of the stuff I'm talking about is just fun to talk about. I wanted to mention that because the next partner we're talking about is, of course, zoom in, Square Enix. What's going on, dude? Yeah, Square Enix, man. Look, there's a plethora of games that they could talk about. Square Enix is a big company. Kingdom Hearts 4 is a real video game. Final Fantasy IX Remake, man. I am dying to see it. I want it to be here. I want it to be a part of this show. I think that it very well could be. I've said before, 5 out of 5, it is absolutely happening. That's why Square Enix is here. It's going to be a big, beefy trailer. They're going to show gameplay. I'm going to be crying. A lot of people are going to be crying. I'm stoked to see it. I'm stoked to see Square Enix here. It's either FF9 Remake or Kingdom Hearts 4, right? It's either or. And again, Kingdom Hearts, they recently tweeted out like, hey, thanks for waiting. We're still working on the game. Don't worry. You can play as Mickey Mouse now, apparently. But I don't know if that's to like temper expectations, like wait a little longer. And hey, that means FF9 showing up at Summer Game Fest, or it's like, oh no, wait just a couple of weeks. We will be at Summer Game Fest. You know, I don't know, man. I really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw either or, is what I'm saying. I do wonder if we see both, though. Like, that's where I'm like, But again, we have an Xbox show, right? They could spread the love a little bit. And again, there's probably some PlayStation thing happening. I'm saying that if FF9 isn't here, or if Kingdom Hearts 4 isn't here, there's other places that it could show up. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is not possible, right? We did get a beefy trailer at Summer Game Fest before. I don't know, man. Like, I do think that we could get like a logo, a title reveal. I don't even think that that's out of the realm of possibilities, right? Final Fantasy VII has been picking up steam, right? We have the new game coming to Switch 2. That's a huge deal. Maybe we get a little teaser. Maybe we see a little snowboarding or something. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that. Again, I don't want to raise these false expectations, right? I don't want to be responsible for that. But like, I don't know, man. I do think it's possible. I really do. I think Summer Game Fest is going to be a very fun show. I really do. I thought last year was great. I think that this year is going to be even greater. We have more partners than ever before. I think that just means there's going to be more games here than ever before. It's going to be stressful, right? There's going to be so many games that it's going to be hard to count and hard to remember, but I'm going to be there no matter what, live on this channel, reacting to all of it. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like the video, make sure to be a part of this little party we have going on here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to comment down below and give me your thoughts on everything that I had to talk about today. What games are you most looking forward to showing up at Summer Game Fest? What about these partners? You know, you see this here. What stands out to you? What gets your ears perking up? Thank you again for watching, and until next time, party on.